They say age is just a number. But after 70, every number starts to mean more. Every birthday, every doctor's visit, every decision. And while the world tells you to slow down, to shrink back, to expect less, there's a small group of seniors, just 5%, who are doing something different. They're still strong, still sharp, still thriving. So what are they doing that the rest aren't? Today we're talking about 5 powerful habits. 5 things that only 5% of seniors over 70 consistently do. These daily choices are directly linked to longer life, better health, and a greater sense of purpose in old age. If you're over 50, over 60, or simply determined not to let aging define you, this message is for you. Let's explore what it means to truly thrive as you grow older, and how you can start today. Habit 1. They train their balance every day. As we age, balance quietly begins to slip away. It doesn't happen all at once. It fades little by little, so slowly that most people don't even notice until they're suddenly unsteady on their feet. And by then, a simple misstep can lead to a serious fall. The statistics are sobering. 1 out of every 4 adults over 65 falls each year. And for many seniors, a single fall can change everything. Mobility, independence, confidence, even life expectancy. But here's what the thriving elders, the 5%, understand. Balance is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. It's not just about preventing falls. It's about keeping your freedom, your ability to move, walk, turn, carry things, and get around on your own. That's why the healthiest, most independent seniors treat balance like a daily ritual. They don't leave it up to chance. They practice it, just like brushing their teeth or making their bed. They do simple things that keep their inner stability sharp. Standing on one leg while waiting for the kettle to boil. Walking heel to toe along a hallway. Taking time to stretch their ankles and rotate their hips to keep their joints mobile. Many of them do exercises that challenge both their body and brain at the same time, because balance isn't just physical, it's also neurological. Some take it further and join Tai Chi or gentle yoga classes, which are proven to support stability, coordination, and calm. Others walk in nature, on uneven surfaces, to stimulate their sense of orientation and movement. They avoid relying on walls or furniture to steady themselves, not because they don't need it, but because they know the more they rely on external support, the more their internal support system weakens. If you're wondering where you stand, try this, literally. Stand on one foot, arms at your sides, and count to 10. Can you do it without wobbling or grabbing a chair? If not, that's your sign. Not of failure, but of opportunity. Because balance can improve with effort, at any age. Every step you take, every time you get up from a chair without using your hands, every stretch you hold, these are quiet victories. They're how you tell your body, I'm not done moving yet. Because thriving in your 70s and beyond isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. And balance matters more than most people realize. Habit 2. They maintain a strong social circle. We often talk about health in terms of blood pressure, weight, or medication. But one of the most powerful predictors of senior health has nothing to do with numbers on a chart. It's the quality of your relationships. And yet, after 70, maintaining friendships becomes harder. People move away. Loved ones pass on. Daily routines shift. And the quiet, unspoken truth is that many seniors begin to feel forgotten. The difference between most seniors and the top 5%. The thriving elders don't wait for connection. They create it. They understand that loneliness doesn't just cause sadness. It causes damage. Emotional isolation has been linked to increased risk of dementia, higher blood pressure, poor immune function, and even early death. It chips away not just at your mood, but your body's ability to function. That's why these seniors make staying social a priority, even when it's inconvenient. They call old friends and don't worry about who called last. They attend weekly coffee groups, go to church gatherings, or join hobby circles where they can share stories and laughter. Even small things, a conversation at the grocery store, a chat with a neighbor over the fence, a few kind words to a grandchild over video call, become lifelines. Some use technology to stay close. They learn to send emails, use video chat, or participate in online groups where they can talk with people who share their interests. Others volunteer, not because they have to, but because giving their time helps them feel needed. And being needed is one of the most powerful emotional anchors in old age. These seniors also recognize that making new friends isn't just for the young. They stay open to meeting people, even if it means going to that new community event alone, even if it feels awkward at first, because they know that staying connected is a daily decision, not a one-time event. You don't need a dozen close friends to stay mentally and emotionally strong. One or two meaningful connections can carry you through. One real friend who knows your story. One regular conversation where you feel heard and seen. That's enough to transform your sense of belonging. The truth is, as we grow older, the people in our lives often change. But the need for connection never does. And the seniors who thrive are the ones who keep showing up, for others and for themselves. Not just hoping someone will remember them, but making sure they remember how much they still matter. Habit 3. They move with intention, not just by accident. For many seniors, especially those living alone or retired, the daily pace naturally slows. You walk from the bedroom to the kitchen. You tidy up the living room. You take the trash out or shuffle through the mail. And while those activities count as movement, they don't give your body the strength it needs to stay resilient. There's a big difference between incidental movement and intentional movement. The seniors who thrive well into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. They move with purpose. They don't rely on daily chores to keep their muscles working. They set aside time to move with awareness and direction. Some take short morning walks, not just to get somewhere, but to feel their legs beneath them. Others do gentle stretching while listening to music, or follow online exercise routines specifically designed for older adults. They do chair yoga, wall push-ups, or water aerobics. They use resistance bands to maintain muscle tone. They find ways to move that are safe, sustainable, and meaningful. And most importantly, they keep moving, every single day. Why is this so important after 60? Because the body changes. Sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass, begins around your 6th decade of life and accelerates if left unaddressed. That loss doesn't just mean less strength. It leads to slower reflexes, weaker balance, more fatigue, digestive problems, joint stiffness, and greater risk of injury. But this loss is not a guarantee. It's a warning, and one you can act on. The thriving elders know that movement is medicine. They don't wait until they're feeling stiff or unwell to stretch or walk. They move before the pain arrives. They build strength before they need it. They prepare for their future by taking care of their body today. And they don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. What you do need is consistency and intention. A brisk walk around the block. A few strength-building moves before breakfast. A few minutes of focused movement every morning and every night. So ask yourself, as soon as you rise, how will I move my body today? Not because you should, but because you can. And because your independence depends on it. Your legs still carry you. Your arms still lift. Your heart still beats strong when you give it a reason. So give it one, every single day. Habit 4. They challenge their minds. Some people believe memory loss is just a natural part of aging. That forgetting names, dates, or where you put your keys means you're in decline. But the truth is, your brain is more adaptable than you think, even in your later years. The difference between those who decline and those who thrive. It's not genetics, it's activity, mental activity. The top 5% of seniors engage their minds daily. They don't see retirement as the end of growth. They see it as the beginning of a new kind of learning. They read, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed and inspired. They read fiction, nonfiction, magazines, poetry. They solve crosswords, Sudoku, or play strategy games that make them think in new ways. They learn new skills, whether it's how to use a smartphone, how to navigate the internet, or how to speak a few words in a new language. Some journal every day, reflecting on memories or exploring new ideas. Others take free classes online or in their communities, learning everything from art to history to nutrition. And here's what they understand. Learning isn't about proving anything. It's about keeping your mind alive. Because when your brain is curious, it stays engaged. It builds new connections. It strengthens existing pathways. It creates resilience, not just mentally, but emotionally. Challenging your mind doesn't have to be formal. It can be as simple as trying a new recipe, watching a documentary, or debating ideas with a friend. But the habit must be regular, daily, intentional. The thriving elders don't wait for their minds to get rusty. They keep their intellects polished and active because they know a sharp mind leads to a fuller life. A mind that thinks clearly contributes to better decisions, better conversations, and better aging overall. So ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind today? What new thought can I explore? What mental skill can I sharpen? It's never too late to learn. And in many ways, now is the perfect time. Because you have the wisdom to apply what you learn. You have the time to enjoy it. And you have the power to shape the life you still want to live. Habit 5. They believe they are still capable. There's a quiet message that many seniors receive as they get older, and it's not always spoken out loud. But it's there, in the way people talk to you, in the decisions others make for you, in the way the world gradually starts treating you like you've already had your moment. The message is this: you're no longer needed. You're done growing. Your role is to sit back, stay safe, and stay out of the way. But the top 5% of thriving elders never accept that message. They hear it, and they reject it. Because deep down, they know something the rest of the world sometimes forgets. They know they are still capable, still growing, still evolving. They don't wake up and think, what can't I do anymore? They wake up and ask, what do I still want to do? And that question alone changes the shape of their days. They make plans, not just doctor's appointments or family visits, but real plans, things they want to learn, places they want to go, projects they want to finish, conversations they want to have. These seniors still dream, even if their dreams look different now. They give themselves permission to want more, not from others, but from themselves. They believe that who they are today is not a faded version of their younger self. It's a deeper version, a wiser one that sees more clearly what matters and what doesn't, one that's been refined by years of experience, heartbreak, laughter, loss, and resilience. And this belief that they still have something to offer impacts everything. It affects how they walk into a room. It influences how they speak up in a conversation. It gives them the courage to take care of their health, to stand tall, to stay engaged. It pushes them to keep showing up for their life, instead of sitting quietly on the sidelines. They don't shrink themselves to fit someone else's idea of what aging looks like. They live with agency, with pride, with purpose. They see themselves as valuable, and because of that, they act like it. They keep their minds sharp because they still have ideas to share. They keep their bodies strong because they want to keep doing the things they love. They keep relationships alive because they know that connection doesn't end when you reach a certain age. And maybe most importantly, They understand that growing older doesn't mean giving up. It means showing up differently, with more depth, more presence, more gratitude. It's not about pretending to be younger. It's about embracing who you are now and living like that person still matters. Because you do. That belief alone is one of the strongest tools for longevity, emotional strength, and continued joy. It's not found in medication or supplements. It's found in mindset, in the way you see yourself when no one's around, in the quiet decisions you make every morning. Do I still matter? Am I still capable? Can I still grow? If you answer yes to those questions, you've already joined the 5%. You're not coasting. You're living, not out of habit, but out of purpose. Final thoughts. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to be flawless, wealthy, athletic, or full of energy every moment of the day. What you do need is something far more powerful and far more rare. You need the willingness to begin. That's it. The willingness to say, I'm not done. The willingness to believe that small choices still matter. That your time is still yours to shape. Start where you are. Start by noticing your balance as you stand up from a chair. Start by stretching your arms and rolling your shoulders instead of staying stiff. Start by walking a little farther today than you did yesterday. Start by calling someone who used to bring you joy. Start by writing one thought in a notebook, just for yourself. Start by reminding your body and your mind that you're still here, and that still means something. Because being over 60 or 70 or even 80 doesn't mean your story is behind you. It means your most meaningful chapters could still be ahead, if you're willing to write them. It means that instead of reacting to life, you now get to choose how you live it. You have the experience. You have the clarity. And now, you have the opportunity. Only 5% of seniors are consistently doing these 5 things, not because they have more energy or more time, not because they had easier lives. They do it because they made a quiet decision. They chose to treat their later years as a time of growth, not retreat. They chose to believe that aging is not about fading. It's about focusing, refining, becoming more deliberate about what really matters. You can join them. You don't have to wait for the perfect day, the right mood, or someone else's permission. You just need to decide. You can thrive, not just survive, in your later years. You can feel stronger, think clearer, connect deeper, and live with more intention. And you can start today. So ask yourself honestly, what's the one habit I'm ready to claim for myself? What's the one change I know I can make, even if it's small? Write it down. Say it out loud. Let it begin. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Because the best version of your life is still possible, and you are still the one who gets to live it.